So I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example that will be a trigger for you. I use a head halter on my puppies. Head halters, like, oh my God, that's horrible. But I use a head halter in a way that I condition the dog to want it on. If they don't want it on, I don't use it. And when they want it on, then I've been given the right to use it. So, and you know, the only time I would use it is if I'm going out in public and they see other dogs, then I have control to turn their head away. Yes, right. But I probably spend the first 3 or 4 months of a puppy's life playing games with a head halter, turning their head in tug with it before I will ever use it. And when I use it, the very first time I ever use it, my goal is to never use it again. And so I think Belief has never even had one on, and she's 9 months old, but she's been conditioned. She'll let me put it on, but I've never used it with her. But I spend a lot of time with my puppies conditioning them to have it on. But I don't ever slap it on like I mentioned in Rough Love. The conditioning process, and it's only there to help them be aware of their environment and be aware of their surroundings so that I can set them up for reinforcement. Because I think puppies out in public on a flat collar get more punishment from their owners than they do reinforcement. Puppies on a head halter get more reinforcement from their owners because we can set them up to be reinforced. So that's one that most people hate. It's a trigger to so many people when I say the word head halter, but they have no idea that how we're conditioning it. And how little, like every time I put it on, I'm like, am I moving forward to never using it again? So like my 2-year-old, I don't know, she had some fear aggression with dogs, so I used it for that.
Hold on. Let's go. Let me pause you. Because I mean, it's just so many things we need to talk about.
Yeah.
Going back to negative reinforcement, use of aversives, and being the dog language. Most certainly, we can have a lot of fun, and kids have fun, and dogs have fun playing negative reinforcement and punishment. When it gets to worst case scenario, it's a disaster. Nobody argues that. Just like, as I said, you eat cooked chicken, you give 20 hot chicken wings to a dog, things will be bad. We should know better not to do that, and there is education for that. When we talk about halter, and let's say we talk about, we can absolutely 100% replace the word halter, gentle leader, any of those head collars, with a prong collar, and we can argue that we can do it exactly the same way that you said, and we will have the exact same results as you said.
No, you won't, because you can't turn the dog's head. That's the only reason I use it. I use it to help them realize there's a dog over there. I help them to realize that there's reinforcement this way. I don't ever correct them on it. Where a pinch collar doesn't work to affect behavior until you apply pressure to hurt the dog. Regardless, I don't want to say hurt to cause discomfort. I don't want to be, because I know I'm talking a lot. I know you can condition any kind of punishment to be more benign for a dog, that it is like that, right? The example of the video I have on my YouTube channel with what I call the bad dog
conditioning punishment to be benign would be a very bad idea, because then you have to go to some extreme levels to be successful. But when you use a halter to change the dog's direction of, not looking at the dog or not wanting to go somewhere, but to do something else, this is it could be either negative or negative reinforcement or positive punishment. We're clearly using something aversive to change behavior. And this is the analogy that I said, that we can use the prong collar for the same reason. Now they both work in a different way, but ultimately they are designed with the same idea to use some level of discomfort, and that's at the discretion of the owner to change behavior. Can we agree to that?
No.
Tell me why.
Because it isn't causing discomfort. because I would never put a head halter on a puppy unless they have brilliant heel position. And I wouldn't put a head halter on a puppy unless they would willingly put it on themselves.
Right.
And that when I wiggle that head halter, then they're going to turn towards me. Like I'm not, and I just use it so infrequently. And I realize when I do use it, I'm only using it because I don't know how to get what I want without it. Mm-hmm. And eventually I will. Mm-hmm. So the amount I used a head halter on Buzzy, for example, way more than I used one on my 2-year-old. And I said, my 9-month-old, she's been conditioned to it, but I've never taken her out in public on it.
But Susan, we can argue that you're extremely well accomplished dog trainer. That we are not arguing that part. But we can argue that you have absolutely zero reason to put even a gentle leader on your dog because you can make it in 100 different ways.
Correct.
The reason the head collars are on the market is not what you are prescribing.
Agreed.
The reason they are on the market is to prevent dogs from
negative
pulling.
Reinforcement.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
We will agree with that.
Okay.